Good evening. Although slavery supposedly ended many years ago, it still continues today through what we know as human trafficking. Based on my research, I would like to inform you all of the reality and dangers of human trafficking by presenting some information to you based on facts and some statistics. Human trafficking is very real and is spreading rapidly in the U.S. Every day, women and children are being taken captive by traffickers and are forced into the cruel world of prostitution. Tonight I would like to give you some information about the following aspects of human trafficking. I would like to talk to you about what it is, who is at risk, and what you can do. First, let's talk about what human trafficking is. The organization known as Stop Child Trafficking Now defines child trafficking as the recruitment, smuggling, transportation, harboring, buying, or selling of a child through force, threats, fraud, deception, or coercion for the purposes of exploitation, prostitution, pornography, migrant work, sweatshops, domestic servitude, forced labor, bondage, peonage, and involuntary servitude. That same organization also states that trafficking children into the sex industry is done because there is a demand. Predators seek out vulnerable victims and lure them under false pretenses into situations they cannot escape from. No matter the reason, children have become sexual commodities to be bought and sold for the pleasure of exploiters. I'd like to address some statistics just so you can see how pervasive this is. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is an organization that helps to identify and locate children in pornography, photos, and videos, says its staff reviewed more than 10.5 million images in 2009 alone. Reports of exploited children grow every year. In 2009, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received more than 120,000 reports on its cyber tip line. In 2010, the number grew to over 160,000, with the vast majority being from child pornography. Next, let's talk about who is at risk. The organization known as Love 146 released the following statistic in their article entitled United States Child Trafficking Facts. The U.S. State Department estimates that approximately 14,500 to 17,500 men, women, and children are trafficked into the U.S. annually. The same article states that the average age of entry for girls and boys ranges from 11 to 14 years old. Love 146 also states that the vast majority of the trafficked and prostituted children in the U.S. are either runaways or abandoned children. Common themes found among survivors of child prostitution that lead them into that situation are sexual abuse as a child, parental neglect, parental drug use, emotional and or physical abuse from a family member, and poverty. Now let's talk about what you can do. Let's look at how others are helping and how we can get involved. Stop Child Trafficking Now has started community walks to raise money for and promote awareness of this issue. UNICEF is an organization that is determined to end child trafficking and child exploitation and child labor. We can assist them by promoting and funding their efforts. World Vision's response strategy, as stated on their website, encompasses what is known as the 4 Ps, which are prevention of trafficking, protection of victims, prosecution of traffickers, and effective policy. Each one of these is a strategic attack on child trafficking. One last way we can help, which is explicitly declared by all child trafficking organizations, including the Polaris Project, is report any tips or signs of human trafficking to a certified organization like the National Human Trafficking Resource Center. Let's stop child trafficking by getting involved in community walks, by donating to organizations who are working to end this form of slavery. Let's stop child trafficking by contacting our government officials and urging them to join the fight against child trafficking. And let's stop it by reporting any tips to a certified organization. So tonight, you've learned what child trafficking is, who's at risk, and what we can do to put a stop to this. To put an end to child trafficking and to spread the news of this shocking crime, I challenge you to remember the dangers and the reality of human sex trafficking. I challenge you to take the information you have heard and turn it into a heart that reaches out to this broken world. Thank you.